And we are live. Look at this, boys. 7:31. Probably the earliest we've been in a long. This is the earliest we've been in 2022.
Somebody must have an early bedtime.
Right out of the gate.
The clock.
You have to, Caleb, I'm gonna have to mute you. Your audio's bad again, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, so real quick, Kenny, while you're doing that, welcome K&K Sports Show 2222, right? Isn't that today's date? 2/2/22. Never had it again.
Yep.
There's Mr. Virilli saying echo. I want to get a couple comments in real quick. Jeremy Oswald saying, sorry, been MIA. What's going on? Welcome back, Jeremy. And Henry Zimenoff. Well, I'll be damned. Jim Harbaugh will stay at Michigan despite being interviewed by the Vikings. I wonder why. And you know what? We're going to get into that because that was breaking news right when we got on the air tonight. A little shocking. But let's go.
I got Henry's nickname, by the way. Mr. Anchorman himself, Mr. Zimmerman.
All right. I like it. I like it. You know, we got to get, Kenny, we got to get an inside source on this show.
Henry could be our inside source.
We got to get a big inside source, like someone that's going to get some.
The Adam Schechter of K&K.
Yeah, we got to do it. We got to do it. And you know what? Let me start with this. I'll start with Mr. Rosen tonight. How are you, my friend?
Wonderful. Excited to be here. A lot going on, as we all know, and looking forward to talking about everything tonight.
Mr. Siciliano, how are you, my friend?
Good. Hope everybody's doing well. Yep.
And Mr. Kirkpatrick, how are you?
Doing well. Looking forward to a fun-filled show with you guys. Our friend Caleb's having some internet problems, computer problems. He's going to try and join us. Hopefully he can get with us. But we got a fun-filled show with you guys tonight. Okay. Looking forward to it.
I want to get right into my quick hitters if we can, Mr. Kirkpatrick, because I'm ready to go.
Let's roll with quick hitters. Then we got a bunch of football to talk about and different topics in football. We'll have some fun with.
All right, so here we go. Again, audience, please, Henry, Virilli, Jeremy, whoever's there, if you guys want to chime in on this, please do. I want to try to get this done quick. I got 10 good ones. All right, here we go. Mr. Sis, will Brian Flores ever be a head coach again in the NFL?
Yes, but not this year.
Paul?
Probably, yeah, but I agree, not this year.
Kenny?
I'm going to play devil's advocate and say no.
Eddie Murphy saying no. Caleb saying, sorry, fellas, computer is acting up. Virilli saying yes. We had on last night Dave Logan on our high school show. Awesome high school coach, voice of the Broncos, KOA Radio. And I heard him today saying he believes he will be a head coach again in the NFL. So, all right, question 2. Kenny, do you want Jimmy G as the quarterback on your team? Well, let me start that. Hell no for me. Mr. Kirkpatrick.
Quick hitter answer, right?
Yep.
It can't be a maybe. It's got to be a yes or no.
Yes or no?
I'll say yes. He's better than Jones.
Oh.
Paul.
No.
Sis.
He's coming your way, pal.
He ain't coming my way.
He better not be.
We're really saying yes as a Bear fan. Saying yes. Eddie Murphy, racism is always going to be around. No controlling that. But the bigger topic should be owners paying coaches to lose games, if that's true. We're going to get into that later, Eddie. That is insane. Insane.
Sure. Go to me last on this next question. I'll be back in 30 seconds.
Okay. Sis, I'll start with you. My boy out there, my favorite coach, Kyle Shanahan. Did he choke versus the Rams in the NFC Championship game on Sunday?
No. Jimmy Garoppolo did.
You know what? I'm with you, sis. I'm with you. Could he have gone for it on 4th and 2? Yes. But you know what? That quarterback, again, let him down, did not make plays. I'm going to go no, too. Paul, what do you think?
That's right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I don't think he choked. There were so many other plays that could have been made aside from the way he coached the game. But no, I wouldn't blame him. Now, if you ask me about the AFC game, that's another story.
Eddie Murphy, Jimmy G is like an Alex Smith. I think knows when to make the right throws for the most part. Henry, it would take the cap space for Green Bay to even have a chance to trade Rodgers to Denver. We'll get into that later on. A lot of coaches, Eddie's saying, choked these playoffs. Virilli saying Jimmy G messed up. I'm with Virilli again tonight. Kenny, did Kyle Shanahan choke in the NFC Championship game?
Yes, we got too conservative. Yes.
So you're blaming it more on him than Jimmy G?
Yes, I've seen it. I've seen it numerous times. Yes.
Okay. Tonight, actually, in about a minute or two, the New York Knicks hosts MVP candidate Ja Morant as the Memphis Grizzlies come to MSG to play the Knicks. Who do you got tonight, Paul? Grizzlies or Knicks?
I'm going to take the Knicks.
I'm with you. I'm taking the Knicks. Sis?
Not me. I'm taking the Grizzlies.
Kenny?
Good minds think alike. I'm with Mr. Sis and the Grizzlies. And you know what? The Grizzlies are going to turn into my West Coast team because not turn into a bandwagon fan. I told you in the draft I wanted Morant on the Knicks, not Zion. So I'm a big Morant fan, and I'm pulling for him to get the MVP.
Yeah.
Caleb saying Memphis, and Virilli saying I'm with Coach, so he's going Memphis. Paul, you going to watch the Pro Bowl?
Probably not.
Kenny?
Only if there's infomercials on. Choice between infomercials and Pro Bowl, I'll watch the Pro Bowl.
Okay, I'm probably with you. I mean, listen, I might just have the thing on, but not really to watch it. Sis, what about you?
I have absolutely no interest.
Sis, let's see if you have interest in this. Verley saying if nothing's on. Washington Commanders. Sis, you like it?
I'm still out on that.
Paul?
No, I love the name. I think it fits perfectly for the DC area. I think it's amazing that they came up with that name.
Kenny, you're from that area?
Yeah, can I make a 30-second answer here?
Sure. Caleb's saying no.
It's going to take me time to get used to it. I just got used to Washington football team. Now I got to call them the Commanders. But here's my 30-second thing. Dallas Cowboys, America's team. Jerry Jones. They're calling the Commanders the people's team. I hear Daniel Snyder's the worst, miserable owner in football. He is the biggest jerk of all the owners. And you're going to call this team the people's team. I just find it a little funny.
Virilli saying it could be worse. It just sounds odd. And Eddie Murphy saying people already nicknamed them the Washington Commies. So Eddie Murphy's all over it. Saturday.
It's going to take time, Houston. It's going to take time.
Guys, Saturday night, 6 o'clock. Coach K's last game at UNC. Duke goes to North Carolina in Coach K's last game there. Sis, does he get a standing O from the UNC crowd?
Most definitely.
Paul?
Absolutely.
I'm with you guys. I think so too.
Yeah.
Kenny?
Yeah, it's easy. Yes.
All right. You're down 6 points. You got to go 90 yards. I'm going to give you 4 names. I'm going to start mine off. You could pick one of these 4 quarterbacks in any in a big game. You're in a playoff game. You're down 6. You need a touchdown. Do you want Brady going 90, Manning, Elway, or Montana? I know who I want because he went 98 in 86 in Cleveland in the dog pound. Most impressive drive ever. I'm going with my boy, Mr. Elway. Sis, Brady, Elway, Manning, Montana. Who do you want to come down? You're down 6. You got 1 drive left. What do you got?
Mitch Trubisky.
No, really. Come on.
Yo, Tom Brady, man. Hands down.
Paul?
Well, you didn't say which Manning. You know,
Good
did
point.
he Peyton or
You can take either Manning.
I will go with the man.
This is a hometown call right here.
No, it's not. I'll go with the man of the hour or the last 24 hours, Tom Brady.
Atta boy.
Couple of things, comments. Caleb is saying Manning. Virilli's saying Brady. Eddie Murphy saying give me Mahomes for 13 seconds. LOL. Kenny, who you going with?
I'm with the fellow Giant fans. I'm going Brady, unless he's playing the Giants in the Super Bowl.
Okay, fair. For really saying Jim McMahon. Before the Nick, we got a comment for the Nick, and I heard this. Eddie Murphy saying, heard this on the Tiki and Tierney show. If Randall gets any worse, the FBI is going to get called, and Randall's going to get investigated for point shaving. LOL. I did see that the other day. Two more. Did the Rams? We've talked with our Denver, Colorado friends all week about this. Did the Rams do the right thing by trading all their draft capital, first round picks, second round picks, third round picks, for Matt Stafford and Von Miller? And now they're in the Super Bowl. Sis, did they do the right thing?
Oh, definitely. No doubt about it. Now,
There's my coach, Richie Katwika, saying, yes, I'm with you. How could you not, Sis? You're in the Super Bowl, right?
Exactly, yeah.
For really saying, if they win, yes. Paul.
Yeah, absolutely. I wish if I could be the Giants and they do something and they wind up in the Super Bowl, I'd give all my draft picks and whatever they can to get there.
I'm with you. Eddie Murphy saying if they win, yes. And Rich is saying, what's up, boys? What's going on, Coach Rich?
Going on, Coach.
Kenny, what about you? Did they do the right thing?
Yes. The only thing I disagree with is Eddie saying if they win the Super Bowl, yes. Win or lose, they got to the Super Bowl.
They're there.
And they got their quarterback for at least the next 5 years.
Right.
He's still young in quarterback years.
Right.
So to me, it's a home run. You got rid of Jared Goff and you got back Matthew Stafford, who a few years back was the #1 draft pick. So
all in, baby.
So,
those championship windows are so small when you can, and really saying no one remembers second place, but that championship window is so small. All right, here's my last one for the night, and Virilli's going to like this one because this is Virilli. 1985, right? Probably the most dominant team we have. I mean, I would, real quick, Eddie's saying, Richie's saying, not much happened in Glen Rock. How do Detroit fans feel watching Stafford? You know what? We're going to ask Carson tomorrow. I know he's a big fan.
I got Johnny Beelan in the waiting room. Is he come in for this last question?
No. We'll hold him for 1 second.
All right, John, hang on 1 second.
One second. Here we go, okay? And this is Virilli, but now this is our fun one of the night. I'm going to start this with Paul, okay? The 1985 Bears, one of the most dominant teams, probably the best defense ever, Super Bowl champs. The one thing they did was they made a music video, right? Called the Super Bowl Shuffle. So I want everybody to sing this main chorus of the song. I'm going to do it first. It goes like this. I'm not here to start any trouble. I'm just here to do the Super Bowl Shuffle. So everybody has to redo that line. I'm not here to start any trouble. I'm just here to do the Super Bowl Shuffle. That was one of the main lines. So, Paul, you're up first. Let's hear it.
All right, wait. I'll be right back.
Okay. He's going to put a pair of glasses and a hat on, I guarantee. Sis, you got the verse again, Sis?
Yep.
Okay, let's see when Paul comes back.
All right, I'm back.
Oh, there it is. I told you, there it is. All right, so you're up, Paul.
I'm not here to be any trouble. I'm just here to do the Super Bowl Shuffle.
I like it. Mr. Kirkpatrick, you're up.
You got me up?
I got you up.
All right. I got my kind of. I'm not here to start any trouble. I'm here to do the Super Bowl Shuffle.
Okay. And here's what I've been waiting for all night. Mr. Siciliano on the mic. Here we go.
I'm not here to start any trouble. I'm Mr. Sis and I'll bust your bubble.
Richie's saying, wow, just as bad as the Bears did it, LOL. And he's saying, are your co-hosts going to do the shuffle?
I don't know.
What we really should do is next week for our Super Bowl show, we're going to have to work on a video. Maybe we do a Super Bowl shuffle video and we promote it next Wednesday. We might have to do it.
No.
We might have to do it. But there's my Sis
Hey,
looks
hey,
like
Kurt.
Hey, real quick.
Kurt.
Yeah, go ahead, Paul.
I have a question later for Sis that sort of goes with what you just said. So it'll be fun.
Okay. Mr. Beelan's coming in. Eddie Murphy saying Sis looks like Sergeant Slaughter. Sergeant Slaughter, so serious. All right,
my
Mr.
trademark.
Kirkpatrick. That's the quick hitters.
That's the quick hitters.
Okay.
Look good.
You know what? Let me do this. Let me get one quick hitter for Beelan. Beelan,
Yeah.
1985 Bears. I don't know. Were you even alive in 85?
No, not yet.
Well, best football team?
Ever?
Yeah.
Top five. Yes, not best ever.
Best
though.
defense ever.
Best defense. Them and the 2000
The Ravens you're talking about?
Ravens?
was it 2008?
2000.
2000 Ravens.
2000.
Beat
Yeah.
the Giants.
Yeah,
What
defense.
about that 2015 Bronco team, Beelan?
Yeah,
That was a pretty damn impressive defense.
the one that Peyton Manning won for you guys. Yeah.
Yes, sir. All right, Mr. Kirkpatrick. So that's done.
Okay, so before we get into the AFC Championship, Kurt, I know you had your 5-minute segment you wanted to do. So why don't we do that now?
Oh, the one from last week.
Yeah.
Okay, the abs. We're going to get back to the abs segment today. Okay, so the abs segment, I spoke with Mr. Sis off air today, and there's only two that come to mind this week. Ken, if you could just get me back out of the screen, because I'll put the other screen back up.
Okay.
I will get that up for
This
you.
is
'Cause
Beelan's abs segment.
this is the abs.
I had some good ones this week.
No, there's only two. The only
That's
one,
it?
yeah, the only two you had, and I will read them, and you guys tell me if they're worthy of top 5. Okay.
Do I have a say in this too?
Of course, you have a say in it. You made the statement, so yeah. Why wouldn't you? Let me just find it because it was the text that.
That's my top 5 right there. Beelan's statement right there.
Okay. So, what time, Paul? What time did the AFC Championship game start? Last
3
week,
o'clock.
3 o'clock. So I received a text at 4 o'clock. Okay, I got to just give me a second.
By the way,
I know where you're going with this.
I think it was 3:30.
I got the same text.
Wait a minute.
Yep.
We got the same text. Okay, here we
Yep.
go.
Yep.
I sent it out to all you guys. Well, Kenny didn't get it because Kenny's phone was in outer space.
Right,
My
Kenny's.
phone, my phone is out of service.
All right.
All right, you guys just got to give me one.
By the way,
second.
don't ever order a phone. Go to Verizon or the stores to go get it because I'm still waiting for it.
Okay.
mailed down
Paul,
here.
Yeah,
Paul, never give me your cell phone number either.
Okay. By the way, Virilli is saying that
Sis,
Virilli is saying that we cannot beat last week because of the comments he made.
No. I think the one that you say that might be top 5.
Okay, so the game starts at 3 o'clock. By the time kickoff, national anthem, probably 3:10. I received a text at 4:05 p.m., so roughly an hour and 5 minutes into the game.
So close to halftime.
No, is it close to halftime?
No.
No.
No,
4 o'clock?
it was first quarter. It was
First quarter.
First quarter lasted over an hour.
The text was, good night, bring on the Rams. So basically the game was over in Beelan's mind in the first quarter. Do you guys like that one? The second one he gave me 2 minutes later, the Bengals OC is a bum today. So, those are my two for the night.
First one isn't top 5.
Wait, but hold on. Before you guys decide all this, tell me not the first half you guys were like the Bengals are almost maybe possibly out of this thing.
yeah. No, you're right.
You're
I mean,
right.
they were so.
But
It
you
was
called
so
him dead. You had him dead to rights right there. That was it.
A bum. Callahan is a bum. I'm going to go with that one.
Callahan is a bum.
Let me just say this.
Dead.
I was texting with Sis on the Ram Buck game, and it was 27-3. He had that game over and done, and I kept saying to him, I don't know about it. They can come back. And he was so totally against that, right, Sis?
I said it too. I said I don't care if they're down by 40 with 2 minutes left. I'm never counting Brady out of the game. Never.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, and Verrilli is saying officially that is not better than last week's, and I think he means the Troy
No.
Aikman one.
No.
So
No, but the problem is, it's like one of those shows you do something too many times. We got to save Beelan's like every other week, maybe, or once a month, and you'll have a good 5.
Yeah. That you know what? That's what we might have to do.
How about Brian Flores is a bum? Is that one this week?
That could be a good one. The
Beelan.
Dak and Aikman comment. Verrilli likes the Dak and Aikman one.
Yeah.
Kurt, I saw something on Facebook, and I'm not looking to pile on Beelan here, but
I love it.
I saw something on Facebook that shocked the hell out of me. Could you guys guess where Beelan would want to move to? A state in the union. If he had a chance to move, I bet you could not guess where he would move.
A state in the U.S.
I could.
Sis might,
Yeah.
maybe.
Go ahead, sis.
With that beard, definitely Russia.
No, I'll say Montana.
Kurt.
Eddie
I'll
Murphy,
give you a hint.
Eddie
I'll
Murphy's
give-
saying South Dakota. I'm going to say Kansas.
It's South Dakota.
Oh,
Yeah.
South Dakota?
Why South Dakota? When I saw that, I was shocked.
No income tax, and if you buy a land and actually convert it to a farm, which majority of people do, you pay no tax on your property.
Okay.
So I'll buy 200 something acres for nothing, make it into a farm, and see you guys later. I'm over there.
Murphy,
And you can bring
Eddie
and you can
Murphy
bring
was all
Sis
over
to
it.
cut that grass, 200
Yeah.
acres when you make
Get
Hey,
chunky.
you can get some
What's that?
some pigs and some chickens and open up your own
You know
farm.
what I would love Sis to see real quick? I could see Sis. Where was the movie with Kingpin? With the Amish, right? What is that?
the Amish, yeah.
Yeah,
Pennsylvania.
but it wasn't. No, it wasn't Pennsylvania. It was. I think it was Ohio. I think it was based in Ohio. That movie.
I could see Sis like over there,
Yeah.
Ohio. Eddie, really saying cheap to live over there, South Dakota.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Kirkpatrick. So that's that. You want to get to the NFC Championship? AFC Championship?
Let's do the AFC Championship first, and then we'll do Sis's Mind in between the NFC Championship.
Okay.
So let's do the AFC Championship. Of course, the Bengals travel to the Chiefs. We know the Bengals are in the Super Bowl, but I'm going to let Beelan take over because he's the one who said the Bengals were done. So let's let him start off the chat. I was chatting with Sis a little bit on Facebook while the game was on, and then I unfortunately had to go to work, so I missed most of the second half. So I'm going to let you guys take over and discuss the game a little bit more, because if I did, it'd be a little false pretense there. So I'll let Mr. Beelan start, and then we'll go Kurt, Paul, and Sis.
I look like Joey Burrow right now. I mean,
You look like Joey Clams.
Yeah.
No, you needed that. See, we should have had Beelan out for the Super Bowl Shuffle.
We'll go back to him real quick.
Yeah.
Eddie is saying Reed and Mahomes blank the bed. Henry, the coin toss struck back at the Chiefs in the best way possible.
Yeah.
Everybody thought they were
Palmer.
going to win that game. Go ahead, Beelan.
Palmer.
Sorry.
Yeah. Listen, I think everybody, a majority of people said this game was kind of, it looked the first quarter, this thing looked like it was going one way. It looked like nothing was happening. The Bengals were they kept running the ball for like 2 yards. It was like, and it was the same play. It was like a halfback dive up the middle. It was like, no, there was no game. It looked like there was no game plan, but they stuck to it all game. And, the Chiefs defense, I don't know what happened to it in the second half. It just completely disappeared, just completely. The safeties were not even existing. I don't even know what happened to those guys. It was just bad, man. Super, and they should have learned their lesson from the week before. That's what Josh Allen's doing. Josh Allen's going after the safeties. That's why Davis was open all the time, like up the middle, and that's what Burrow started doing in the second half. It was crazy, man. It was just, like these guys were just non-existent in the whole second half. I didn't get it. And the Bengals didn't change their game plan at all. That's what I liked about it. They didn't change. And the Chiefs, they became one-dimensional in the second half, and they effed the bed. It was that. there's nothing really else to say it.
Kurt, what do you want to add, or do you have anything to add?
You know what? Beelan hit it on the head too. You know, like me and Beelan were texting too, and even though they were getting like 2 yards and 3 yards, that they could, you know, they didn't get into this. Okay, I'm gonna throw it 60 yards, run the ball. Hey, if we gotta punt it, punt it. You know, they still ran for what they ran for 27. I mean, 4.3 yards a rush. That is not bad. 116 yards rushing, mixing. You know, because listen, Mark Sloretta is the biggest one I always hear. Don't, you know, listen. You get 2, 2, 2. Later on in that game, it's going to be 4 and 6 and 8 because teams are going to get tired. And you know what they did? But Kansas City, right? Kansas City ran the ball 24 times for 139 yards, 6 yards a carry. Why are they only running at 24? You know what? They beat themselves because we said this all year. The defense, you know, early on, you know, a couple plays, but again, it was underneath. Again, still, Cincinnati said, I'm going to do the Vic Fangio and the Tide Bowls. Keep everybody back, nobody deep, go underneath. And you know what? Kansas City and Bieniemy or Reed, they didn't do what they're supposed to. Run it for 6 yards. Run. It's like Kansas City has to win their way. And you know what? They didn't do it last year in the Super Bowl. They got destroyed because they did it this way. And they lost this game because they had to do it their way. Run the ball. You're up 21-10. Run the ball. Run the ball.
Take time off the clock.
That's it. You're getting 6 yards a carry. 6. That's crazy. Eventually, Cincinnati's going to have to say, okay, I can't do this. Bring the safeties in the box, right, sis? And now go over the top. But nope. Throw. How many times did they go 3 and out in the second half? Throw. 6 yards a carry. Just stupid by Andy Reid. Stupid.
Well, you know what? 2 weeks ago, they had an early birthday present when the Bills handed them that game in 13 seconds. Otherwise, they'd be home watching the Bills, Bills and the Bengals play that championship game, not them.
Yep.
You know,
Eddie's saying a lot of teams lost games this year in general because they went away from what was working. And I mean, I don't understand. 6 yards a carry. You can't get better than that in the NFL. Why are you just not running the ball?
Right.
They're giving you that. They're giving you that.
You know who gets off the hook all the time, in my opinion, and you guys may disagree and think he's good. I think Andy Reid is way overrated. I'm sorry, I do. Always thought he was. He never did anything in Philadelphia. What did he do in Philadelphia?
True.
So,
Kenny, can I go next, Kenny?
Yes, definitely.
That's exactly where I was going with that. I agree with you guys, but I'm sitting there. You are at home in maybe the hardest place to play on your home turf with the 21-3 lead. You give up a touchdown, but you drive down. You're on the 2-yard line or whatever the hell it was, and there's 5 seconds left, and you decide that you're going to try one more attempt with no timeouts left. I mean,
not in the end zone. Not throwing it. Not in the end zone.
Right. Kick the damn field goal. Get off the field. You're now up by 2 touchdowns.
It's done.
Probably winning that game.
Yep.
I mean, is Andy Reid the worst close game head coach in football? I'm telling you, yeah, when you're winning, 42-17 because Mahomes is throwing 5 touchdowns, that's one thing. Anybody can coach, but in a close game like that, and then the last drive, they still have a chance. How does Mahomes not get rid of that ball to take a sack and then have to settle for a field goal? At least give yourself an opportunity to win the game right there.
Because again, Paul, he's got to do it with his flair. And you know what?
Yeah.
The last 2 years is on Mahomes. And you know what? These Super Bowl windows, everyone that keeps saying, well, he's going to be around for 20 years. No, that team is not. And you know what?
No.
Teams are going to be better. Teams are going to get influx through free agency, through trades. That window is going to get short and short and short. And they're going to look back and all they're going to say, they blew the game versus New England. The Super Bowl last year, their game plan was horrendous. And this year, you cannot lose that game at home, up 21.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Nope.
Andy Reid's in-game coaching ability leaves so much to be desired. As Kenny just said, he didn't really do much in Philadelphia. Okay, but the fact of the matter is, that you watch that game and you say they basically handed that game to Cincinnati, not to take anything away from the Bengals. They played a fabulous game. I mean, hats off to them. But you cannot blow that game that way they did on Sunday. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry about that. No.
And not to back Andy Reid up, but 23 years in the league, and he's only had 3 losing seasons.
No, I get it.
That's not overrated.
I would like to see what another coach would do with the Kansas City team. There's a reason why the assistants don't get head coaching jobs, in my opinion. On a staff like that, wouldn't Bieniemy and Spagnuolo have jobs already as a head coach?
Right.
Buffalo's head coaches, we got Dable, Frazier's getting interviewed. The Rams guy's a hot name. All these teams that are in the playoffs, the coaches go. The Chiefs coaches aren't. There's a reason. I think in this situation, it's the players. It's the players, not the coaches.
Why do you think the enemy is not getting the opportunity?
I don't think he interviews very well. One, and two, he's not even calling the plays. He's an offensive coordinator that's just, I think his position is a little overrated. Andy Reid's the one calling the plays. It's not Bieniemy. Bieniemy's running the offense at practice, but that's about it. So I think maybe that maybe in my opinion. I don't know what you guys think, but that's my opinion on it.
Yeah,
I think it's the interviewing process.
I did hear he doesn't interview well, but I also heard that he's like very he was very demanding in his interviews. Like he was looking for certain things, and the GMs, whoever were interviewing, didn't really like that route, I guess. It all depends on what you're going to do, at the end of the day for the team, and if it's something maybe he wants to go out and go get a top rated quarterback, but the GM wants somebody, to go through the draft. I mean, maybe he's one dimensional too.
Yeah. Sis, let's end the AFC Championship with you, my friend.
Well, Paul basically took my thunder, but again, if you
Sorry, pal.
No, that's fine because you nailed it. That's not a knock. That was the whole game. If you ever played, number one, number two, if you ever coached, by them not kicking a field goal, you gave the Bengals all the juice they needed, and that's why you lost the game. That's where you lost the game. Not the rest of the game. I'm not saying is meaningless, but psychologically, that's where Andy Reid lost that game. That's really all I got to say about that game.
Fair enough. So that's going to conclude. Anything else on the AFC Championship, Kurt? Comments? Or I think everybody nailed it.
Listen, give Burrow credit, though, too. I mean, he made a lot of, how many times did they have him 3rd and 7? Their offensive line is bad, and he made a couple scrambles on 3rd downs. I mean, I give him credit.
Hey, hats off.
That's a great – go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say hats off to Joe Burrow. Zach Taylor, I was like – last year I was like, that guy's got to go. He can't coach. I was absolutely wrong about him. And – hats off to them because I nailed this, and I'm going to pat myself on the back for this. And I'm going to see next year what Trevor Lawrence does with Travis Etienne. But I said, don't take the lineman, pair up Jamar Chase with Burrow. He knows Burrow and play. He knows Chase. Burrow knows Chase, and they're going to be electric in the NFL. And look what he did this year in his rookie year. The chemistry's already there. They know it from college. I'm a firm believer of that. I'm a firm believer of if you played in college together and you could draft them, get them.
Eddie's saying gave up 9 sacks week before and only 1 this week. I don't know what Spags was doing, Eddie's saying.
I was just about to say that, Kurt. You got to give the O-line on the Bengals credit after giving up all those sacks to only give up 1. Was the adjustment they made was amazing. You got to give them credit for that.
Don't sleep on Joey Burrow, boys.
We're going to do a little Super Bowl preview later. We're going to do our short version of Super Bowl preview later. Next week is going to be the big Super Bowl preview show. But in between AFC and NFC, let's throw in Mr. Siciliano's segment. What's on Sis's mind this evening?
We're going to go from Paul to Kenny to Kurt to Mr. Beelan. Are the NFL owners to be blamed for what's going on with Flores and everything that took place in the last few days? So we'll start with Paul.
That's a difficult question to answer in this short time. I think they've attempted.
Listen. I didn't ask you for a song and dance. Just give me an answer.
All right. right. The short answer is no.
Kenny, I love you, Paul.
Now, I'm gonna say no as well. I'm curious to see what happens with the Dolphins situation. But if I had the answer now, I'll say no.
Okay, Kurt.
A couple comments. Eddie Murphy saying, I think the Rooney Rule is stupid. The way they have it set, I agree with him 100%. And the answer is absolutely no. I mean, listen, who is anybody to tell anybody who you should? You spend $4 billion on a team. Somebody's going to tell you who to hire as a coach? It's stupid. No. The owners are not to blame. No. But Eddie's right. That Rooney Rule has to get changed because that really is what's the word he used? A sham? That really is like a sham because, they want to hire Jim. Like the Vikings knew they wanted Jim Harbaugh. Why interview anybody else? They're going to hire Jim Harbaugh. They said it. Why interview anybody else? So, but the owners and really saying no. So no.
Beelan?
I mean, as much as I say no, I believe so. Yes, I believe because they're the ones that put the Rooney Rule together.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. The next question, again, we'll go same thing. Paul, Kenny, Kurt, and Mr. Beelan. You have 3 people that have just been hired the past week and a half with absolutely no coaching experience. And yet you have Mr. Jim Caldwell out there, never got another shot. You got Marvin Lewis out there that went to 5 playoffs with the Bengals. Like, your feelings on, again, hiring coaches with no head coaching experience. Start with Paul.
Yeah, that was one of my questions on my segment. I'm concerned, especially if you know our team, and that's an issue. So I really appreciate what you're asking. I have a strong concern about that.
Mr. Kenny.
I'm okay with it. And, I'm not, this has nothing to do with color. I have, no matter who gets hired, I have no problem with a coordinator getting a position. It's like a promotion at your job. I'm in the hospital and I'm working as an employee, and then I get a manager's position offered to me. I go from assistant manager to manager. That's kind of like with the NFL, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, head coach. Now, so I don't have a problem with it if, as opposed to some of these other coaches that are head coaches, Dan Quinn, for example. He was there. He didn't do the job in Atlanta that they wanted. They fired him. He stepped down to a defensive coordinator, got a demotion, got demoted. And now he still hasn't gotten that job as head coach. So I'm okay with it. Let's give these guys a shot.
Kurt.
Let me read a couple comments, Sis, okay? Eddie Murphy saying, same with the Giants. Once the GM was hired, everyone and their mother knew Dable was going to be the head coach. Eddie's also saying
that was my line.
Eddie Murphy saying a lot of owners and GMs want youth nowadays. Really new game, need new school coaching. Eddie, older guys don't do analytics. Younger guys are into it. You know what, Sis? I don't have a problem with it. I'm going to be honest. Like, again, I think it depends what you need. Like, for example, Josh McDaniels, when he went to Denver, he was cheating. He got caught filming. The place was a disaster. That place was a fire sale. So a guy like John Fox, just to settle it down, he's been there. That was a good hire. To win a championship, though, no, they had to get rid of him, right, and bring in Kubiak. So, but I am not, I think a situation now, like, hey, you know what? McVay got to the Super Bowl, 2 to 3 years or whatever. You know what? He's the hot name. Bring the coordinator. He deserves a chance. I don't think it should be. I think both. It's possible for both, but I'm not against like a coordinator getting a job.
Well, both of our teams got that.
Yeah, I like it, but I think I like both of our hires. I do.
We're gonna see what happens. Yeah, exactly. Next question.
I guess. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Paul.
No, I'm just concerned because over the last 6 years, the Giants have promoted these coordinators who don't seem to have the full concept of what they need to do to run their whole organization, meaning the whole team. And that's my concern about Dable.
See, now Paul Verrilli's making a great point. And I think the Bears are smart because we talk about Justin Fields a lot on this show. And he's saying the Bears needed an OC like they got to put in the new offense and coach up Fields. See, I mean, again, it's just, why are they putting Nagy with him?
You build around your talent.
You build around your talent. You drafted this guy for a first round, and he's very limited. He can only run a certain offense. Put him in that offense.
Like, you really think, like, when Archie Manning comes out, you think they're just he's gonna go to a team and they're gonna say, hey, we're gonna go run the ball 80% of the time? No, the guy throws the ball. Like,
right, but I'm saying with a guy like Arch Manning, he's probably going to be able. He's probably a prototypical. He's going to fit the packet passer. But somebody like Fields, you better. I'm going to say, make it as close as the Ohio State offense as you have. Otherwise, he ain't going to succeed.
This is, Sis, real quick. This is my thing with that, with the OCs is like, one, and Caldwell and all those guys, marvelous. One, we don't know if those guys are actually looking for jobs, like actively looking. That's just the media going out there and saying, hey, these guys are here, like, they're experienced.
Marvin, just excuse me 1 second, big guy. Marvin Lewis said today on Get Up, he's never been asked, forget about head coaching. He's never been asked to be an assistant.
Yeah, but maybe he has that. They see what he has and what he's done. What does he have? A couple of good years with the Bengals, and then other than that, he's been, like, whatever. It's kind of weird. It's kind of like a weird situation. But I mean,
he should, though. I agree with he should be. I mean, as an assistant, I don't know if he's going to take the job, conversation, but he should be in the conversation again. Assistant.
Well, all joking aside, Kurt. You're Marvin Lewis, or I'm not going to say Marvin Lewis. You're Kurt Valenti. You're coaching Arizona State. You're the head coach over there. Kurt, you want to come to the Giants and be our linebackers coach? You're not going to leave the college as a head coach to go to a linebackers coach.
Well, he was a defensive coordinator, I think. He wasn't the head coach there.
He's the head coach at Arizona State.
No.
Marvin Lewis. Okay, Marvin Lewis. Okay. Marvin Lewis. What has he done in the football? He lost every single playoff game he was in. And I'm not just trying to be, I'm just looking at it the other way. If that's somebody else, I don't want to get into the.
No, but listen, I'll be honest.
Everything these days is racism. I don't want to do that. Everything
I wouldn't take him, Kenny. I don't like him as a coach, but I'm saying, Sis's question is, I mean, realistically, as an assistant coach, he's got to be, you're talking to what? 2 assistants, or as a coordinator, he's got to be one of the best 100 coaches in America to get a job.
He's also probably like 60 years old plus. No offense to him, but like, the game's changed, right? Maybe the scheme that the people are looking for is not what they're looking at.
True.
Who knows? It could play in a whole bunch of different things. Maybe he's asking for too much money because he has that experience. So there's a lot of play into it, and it's no different than anybody else's jobs. It's like your job, my job, whatever it may be.
But Sis, I just come down to this. Sis, we talk about this on the high school show, and I mean, the thing is, what? If you're gonna hire me as the head coach, I'm picking my staff. I don't want Marvin Lewis is out there. I don't want Marvin Lewis. I want it's because what's going to happen? It's going to come back to me. So I don't want Marvin Lewis.
What it is?
That's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer.
You know what it is also? It's perception. I agree with you, Kurt. Listen, when I went to different human resources jobs, I wanted people that I could hire.
Of course.
I didn't settle for people. I want people that I knew who might be a good fit and work for me and did the job. To me, it looks like it's a bad perception out there because Shane didn't bring anyone else except the offensive coordinator, Dable, that he knew, he worked with for 4 years. If he had brought in maybe 1 or 2 other offensive coordinators who, head coaches who had worked as offensive coordinators, maybe it would have been a little different. But he was the only offensive guy. And let's face it, the Giant offense was so bad, they needed to bring in someone who was an offensive person. It wasn't like they needed, Flores or Quinn or even Leslie Frazier, who I liked. But the fact is, there was nobody else except Dable that they brought in. So it was almost a slam dunk right from the beginning that he knew he had to fix Jones and their offense. So there was no other competition that he was going to bring in against that guy.
Now, Sis, Eddie's making a great point. He's saying Joe Judge didn't hire any of his staff.
No, he didn't.
It
How do
didn't
we know
work
that?
out, right?
He didn't. They picked the Gettleman and the
They picked
Matt,
his staff.
They picked all those veteran
Well,
coaches.
who
to bring
is
in.
he going to hire? He was a specialty team.
Well, but I'm
He's
saying
going to
is,
go with him.
listen, we talk about this all the time. We even talk on the high school show. If I get hired as a head football coach and I go to, school A, and school A says, well, welcome, Mr. Valenti. Your defensive coordinator is going to be John Beelan. He's a science teacher. Who's that? What do you mean? I want my defensive coordinator. Like, why do I got to work for this guy? I don't know. Not that he's a bad coach, but I don't know. What defense does he run? I got to
Do you
run that
guys
defense?
do you guys mind if I finish my segment?
Sure, go ahead.
Thank you. No respect, man. It's unbelievable. Anyway, okay. Back to Paul. Did Bill Belichick do anything wrong?
That was another question I was going to have. I don't know if he did anything wrong. He did something stupid, but I don't know if he did anything wrong. It wasn't malicious. He didn't do anything intentional.
Okay.
But was it a mistake? Yeah, it was a huge mistake.
Okay. Kenny, without a song and a dance. Did Belichick do anything wrong?
No.
Okay. Kurt?
Yeah. Yep. I say yeah.
Okay. Mr. Beelan?
On record, no, but off record, 1,000%.
I'm answering like that too, off record.
Okay. You're going to piggyback off of Mr. Beelan.
Real quick, a couple things. Really saying Coach Sis is the best. Keeps you guys in line.
Thank you, Mr. Verrilli.
Eddie Murphy saying, pretty sure Judge could have had the New York Patriots like Dable is having the New York Bills. Eddie saying, no, Belichick just texted the wrong Brian.
Mr. Paul, do we have another Kaepernick situation here with Flores?
Yep.
Yeah, I think this is gonna sort of take the lid off of what is going on in the NFL. I think it's strongly there's a strong issue here that can't be swept under the rug. Yeah.
Kenny?
Oh yes, and you're going to see a movie or a series made about him in 5 years.
Who's going to be playing Flores?
Denzel Washington.
Jamie Foxx.
There you go.
I think Paul should play him. Beelan, what do you think?
Yeah, I think you definitely are. You're definitely going to see something. Because I think
A little bit.
real quick, I think Darius Butler, the old cornerback
Right,
for the Patriots,
Right.
he said today, he goes, if it wasn't about race, he wouldn't have thrown the crazy amount of money that was put in there.
Exactly.
He goes,
Next
once
question.
he did that, it's a whole different ballgame.
It's
Real
a whole
quick. Eddie Murphy saying Paul's going to play Mara. LOL.
I'm gonna dye my hair black.
There you go.
The next question, and think about what I'm going to say to you. Okay. Is Brady the greatest quarterback ever to play the game or the greatest player? Paul.
Reading over my shoulder when I was doing my notes. I'm gonna say yes. He's the greatest. He's the GOAT. Yes.
No, what the question is he the greatest quarterback ever to play the game or the greatest player? There's a difference.
All right. Can I say yes to both?
No. This is not The Price is Right.
Then he's the greatest player.
Okay, that's fine. Kenny.
Greatest player I've ever seen. I don't know before my day, but I'll say the player. I didn't see Jim Brown. I didn't see Johnny Unitas. So I'll say the best I've ever seen. Yes.
He's the okay. Mr. Valenti.
Verrilli is saying definitely not the greatest player. I'm going to answer this very
He's
simple.
right. He's right.
Definitely not the greatest player, and he's definitely not the pure but greatest quarterback. He was the most successful quarterback. He had the best. I would say he was the most successful by winning and stuff. But best pure quarterback, absolutely not. And definitely not his player.
We know who you like the quarterback. Who, in your opinion, who's the greatest player ever to play the game? Well, I know who mine is.
Probably from what I'll be honest. Probably from what I've seen is Lawrence Taylor.
Thank you very much. And we'll move right over to Mr. Beelan. Why are you even going there? You're up, Beelan.
That guy needed bumps before every game to go do what he had to go.
He was still the greatest player.
Hey, he did what he had to do, brother.
Listen, Tom Brady at he was playing top level game at 44 years old. 44.
John, the question is simple. Is he
Best of all
the
time.
greatest quarterback or the greatest player ever to play the game?
Greatest player of all time in the NFL.
Fine. Okay.
Eddie Murphy saying greatest quarterback I've ever seen. And then really saying do what you have to do to play about Lawrence Taylor.
It's true. You think Parcells didn't know he was doing
and
that?
Verrilli's saying he had the best career by the numbers.
Who?
Brady.
By the numbers, he won 7 rings.
I mean, I'm gonna get into that in my segment. So just wait a little bit.
Let me.
I have another question.
Okay, let Sis finish.
Yeah,
we're gonna go to Paul. Stafford or Burrow, better quarterback? One word answer.
Stafford.
Kenny.
Stafford.
Kurt.
Stafford.
And Mr. Beelan.
Verrilli saying Stafford.
Did Mahomes choke? Paul. Yes or no?
No, I don't. I'm not going to say he choked.
Okay. Kenny?
No, he didn't choke.
Kurt?
I'll say this. When he didn't score that thing at the end of the half, he was a different player in that second half. So you know what I'm going to say? He's supposed to make $40 million? Yeah, he choked.
I agree with you. Beelan.
There's the 40 mil comment.
There it is.
Beelan.
I don't think he choked.
And I got one more. Go ahead.
I don't think he choked. I think he had a hiccup.
Okay. Last question. Kurt will answer this last.
Okay.
Mr. Paul.
Yes, sir.
Where does Jimmy G wind up? We'll go Paul, Kenny, Beelan, and then Mr. Valenti. Where does Jimmy Garoppolo wind up?
Yeah.
Your opinion, obviously, but.
I'm going to say Miami.
Okay. Kenny?
Miami.
I refuse to let Kurt's blood boil, so I won't say it. That Beelan's job. I'm going to say, I got one or two. I'm going to say Pittsburgh. I'll say Pittsburgh.
Mr. Beelan.
So Pittsburgh's my pick. I think it's the best fit, but I think depending on what Miami does, it could be Miami.
Okay. Mr. Valenti.
Verrilli saying the Washington Commanders. Verrilli saying Denver LOL. I'm going to piggyback on Mr. Kirkpatrick. I'm going to go with Pittsburgh.
I got one sleeper team to add. The Colts could be in play.
Good one, Kenny.
Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah.
Good one.
I'm saying, and I'm ending it with this for my segment. He's going to two places: Tampa Bay or the Denver Broncos.
I hope it's Tampa Bay.
Let's go Denver, baby.
Denver. Let's get the Garoppolo jerseys ready for Kurt.
I'm not blowing my horn, but I'm not.
You want to know what's sad though, guys? This is the truth. Wait, Beelan, real quick. This is the truth. As much as I hate Jimmy Garoppolo, he would be like Joe Montana compared to Teddy Bridgewater for what we had.
Kurt, you guys get Jimmy G. You getting a jersey?
Well, no, here's the thing. Before Kurt answers that, Kurt's going to get 4 jerseys if they get Jimmy G. Right. I will buy Kurt a navy blue one. Paul will get him an orange crush. Beelan will get him the white one, and Sis will get him the throwback.
You know what, Sis? Sis, you know what, Beelan? Yeah, I would.
You're gonna get 4. You're gonna get 4 of them.
I would.
You're gonna have 4 of them.
I wouldn't be happy.
And you know,
but
you're
I
gonna
would.
get that jersey, and then in 2 years, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get the duct tape. I'm gonna put it across the back, and I'm gonna put Bridgewater back there.
Hey guys, can I just say something since we just did the AFC roundup?
Yep.
Isn't it ironic that a team from Cincinnati just might win a championship after all?
Wait, say that again, Paul. I'm sorry.
Do you know what does anybody on this panel know what Cincinnati's record was the last 2 years?
Yeah, 4 and 12.
Yeah, they won. Yeah.
2 and 14 and 4 and 12,
2 and
right?
14. That a boy, Kurt. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, Kurt, I'm gonna let you do the NFC for us.
You know what I actually saw, just real quick? I saw that, and you know what happens? If that's the case, then the Jets are going to the Super Bowl next year because they were 2 and 14, and
so are the Giants, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Real quick, really saying you have to get a
Kurt,
jersey for you
let's
and
get
Bella?
into the NFC, Kurt.
Okay. You want me
Let's
to
get
take
into
this?
the NFC, Kurt, because we're running. It's already 8:30.
All right, let's go. You know what? Let's start.
I only listened to the game. I was at
All right,
work,
so let's do this. Sis, you take. What's your thoughts on the NFC Championship game? Obviously, Rams came back from a 10-point deficit, 20-17 over the Niners. Sis, you got the floor.
Who played in that game again?
The 49ers and the Rams.
No, in all seriousness, again, it's not nice to say. Probably a good guy. Garoppolo choked. There's really nothing else to say. How do you flip the ball 3 feet behind you and just give it to the guy on the other team? I mean, really, that was it. That was it. Terrible. That's why I hope you don't get him in Denver. He's terrible.
Well, I'll go next with that, Sis, because listen, Kyle Shanahan, again, you know what? A little disappointing. Your strength is your offense. Your strength is your run game. 4th and 2 or 4th and 1 from your 48. You got to go for that. But again, like Sis said, you're in an NFC Championship game. I mean, I watched them versus Dallas. They're actually absolutely dominating Dallas, and he throws a stupid pick. Nobody's there. Boom, Dallas is back in the game. Up, down 7-0 in Green Bay. Stupid pick. He got lucky that their special teams, the Green Bay special teams I thought Denver special teams was bad. Green Bay is a joke that they get a field goal blocked. And then every time he's throwing the ball to the outside, Troy Aikman's going, oh, it's almost picked. And then you get to an NFC Championship game. Kittle's wide open, overthrew him. And Sis is saying that like you're gonna flip it like this.
What did he do 2 years ago against in the Super Bowl?
With Emmanuel Sanders wide open. You know what? Listen,
he makes that throw, they win the game.
We argue with our Rocky Mountain friends all the time.
Right.
This guy took you to an NFC Championship game 2 out of 3 years.
Yeah.
And they're going and basically already San Francisco's not even hiding it. Okay, we're gonna send them somewhere. They want no part of this guy. Yeah. None. What does that tell you?
No, because Kurt, they know what their future is, and they're cap strapped. They have a lot of other things going on, and he's a stand-up dude where he's telling them like, yeah, I'm going over here, just don't put me in a crappy team. Like you can't disrespect a dude like that. Yeah, he had some bad throws. Everybody's has the bad throws before. It is what it is, you know.
But you know what though, John? He peaked at what's the point? Like they got to where they can go and they can't go more. You know, same thing with Goff.
Hold on.
Same thing
so
with
you're blaming Jimmy G, but how about your boy Kyle Shanahan? The last 3 playoff games that he lost, 53-0 in the 4th quarter. Don't talk about Jimmy G.
No, you're
talk
right.
About Kyle Shanahan.
You're absolutely right.
I'm with you, Beelan. I'm with you with Shanahan.
Right. You're absolutely right.
And you said that about Shanahan weeks and weeks ago. You were concerned about Shanahan. So
yes, I was.
But if Shanahan can get a Jimmy Garoppolo led team to an NFC Championship game, that's pretty damn impressive. Because Jimmy,
you know what the thing is about Jimmy G? They kept showing his statistics. The 49ers are 35-15 with him, and without him, they're like 8 years. But you know what? To me, it's you look at the 49er teams the last 3-4 years. Those teams are stacked. They're all pros. They're
on a defense,
unbelievable team, right? So is it him, or is it actually the team that's carrying him? the last 3-4 years.
This team carrying him.
Yeah.
The defense, but that team has been drafted. It's not like they went out and signed people to go win championships. Kurt,
Right.
you know,
Well,
they draft within, and they drafted Debo, Bosa, all Mitchell, all the other guys, Kittle, all these guys. It's a drafted team. They don't go out and spend $50 million on a quarterback to go win a championship.
But you know what? Sis nailed it, because I'm sorry, you're an NFC champion. You're down 3 points. You're not down 30. You're down 3 points. You have a good kicker who I don't think he's ever missed in the postseason, right? Robbie Gould. So get yourself 30 yards. What are you doing? Just throwing there. He's so careless, just throwing it up. You're in an NFC Championship game. What are you doing?
He's done it too many times.
Well, every game this postseason he's done it. It's shocking.
Trying to make a play, man.
Really, the Green Bay game, how they lost that game. I mean, seriously, how Green Bay lost, their special teams. You're talking about collapse, blocked punt, missed field goal. Just
10 points, Kurt. Green Bay lost that game because of 10 points.
10 points.
That's why they lost that game.
Well, yeah, they did too. Absolutely.
Blame the offense too, Kurt.
But I am going to blame
teams.
the offense. But Jimmy G, it's over
But
for them.
we're in the NFC preview here. We got only a half hour left, so we got to move on.
But it is true, though.
The Broncos' new head coach, guys.
So let's do this. Sis, real quick, yes or no? Are the 49ers smart for moving on from Jimmy Garoppolo?
100%.
Paul?
Absolutely.
I'm with you guys 200%. Kenny?
No. Trey Lance is not the answer yet over there. Sorry.
Beelan?
No, because now you're going to be wasting Debo and all the other talent that's on that team.
Yep.
Really saying yes. He's also saying Garoppolo almost got Debo killed in that game when he let that one pass he let out.
Yeah, in the middle.
So,
I think the 49ers are going to get rid of him. I think they realize this is as far as Jimmy Garoppolo's level. You know, they can't go any further with him.
Right.
Yeah, he maxed out.
He maxed out. Exactly, Sis.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. You know what? Like everything, like they were saying in the game, when they're up by 7, up by 10, it's like, all right, he'll manage it. But now you're down and 2 minutes left and you can't run the ball, right? There's a time when it's just like, hey, you got a minute 10 with one timeout. You can't run it. Jimmy G, it's on your. Aikman just said it. They're not gonna. Well, he's not gonna win it.
My question for Kurt, Sis, and Paul, because you all said Garoppolo's done, and was he done when he came back 17-0 to get the 49ers into the playoffs?
We're saying he's done with San Francisco, not done as a quarterback.
No, well, I'm saying, but was he done in San Francisco when he came back 17-0 to get the 49ers into the playoffs?
Well, let me ask you something.
Nobody said he was done then.
Well, Kenny, I watched that game, okay? I swear to God, I watched that game. And you know what they did down 17-0? And if you want me, and Beelan, if I'm lying, go back and watch. They lined up and they did this. 6. They just kept running it down. And they got down by 10, got down by 3, and they took the lead. They ran it right down the Rams' throat. Down 17-0 because it was early.
I think, and to add to that, I think you talk about shutting it down. I think McVay in the second half of that game shut it down.
Right.
And started playing too conservatively. And they didn't do what
Shut them down.
Sis, you know what? I want to ask Sis this because he's the coach, okay? And this is my opinion. Am I right or wrong?
You're a coach, too.
I know, but I want to ask you. You think I'm crazy?
For the Pee-wees.
I just think that Jimmy.
Did you say, Beelan?
I said for the Pee-wees.
Yeah, okay. Go
Thank
ahead,
you,
Kurt.
Thank you, Mr. Sis.
I'm not even going to make another comment.
All right, so here's my comment, right? My comment is Jimmy G just has, and again, I'm going to say it's the Shanahan system, but Jimmy G just has everything for him. It's, hey, you know, we're sitting there saying the Chiefs can't run the ball. Buffalo can't run the ball. But all he's got to do is hand it off left, hand it off right, hand it off left. Now it's, hey, everybody's in the box, Jimmy. Fake it, bootleg, one-on-one, throw it. It's so easy for him. It's not going to be anywhere easier where he goes. He's got everything he needs, and he can't do it. That's the problem. He can't do it.
Kurt, you know who he reminds me of, ironically? He reminds me of Alex Smith when Alex Smith was on the 49ers.
Yes.
When they played the Giants in that championship game and the Giants won the game, believe me, it was one of the great Giant games, and Eli played like a lion in that game. But if Alex Smith was any good in that game,
They win the game.
he would have won that game for
Yeah.
the 49ers.
And they're
I
smart.
don't want to open up a can of worms. It's getting late, but I will say one thing. There's all this hatred for Jimmy Garoppolo, all this hatred for this guy. I don't see you hating on Aaron Rodgers, who lost a playoff game to Jimmy Garoppolo. Even though Jimmy Garoppolo didn't do much, Aaron Rodgers didn't do enough to beat him.
You're right.
Okay?
No one ever said anything about Matt Stafford.
That's $50 million. That's $50 million, not yet.
Actually, he's not $50 million. He's $23 million, Aaron Rodgers.
A little bit.
Going to cost a lot more of that in Denver next year.
And listen, not at the end of the day, too. Think about shit. What the hell was I about to say? Never mind. Go ahead.
By the way, Paul, really saying that was a good comparison, Garoppolo to Smith.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, anything else on the NFC? We got to move the show, Kurt. It's getting late already.
We're good.
All right, so let's move on. We got Rosen's Roundtable up, and then we'll do a quick Super Bowl preview because next week's going to be our real preview.
Okay.
Why don't you leave that out and do Briggsy? Do that next week.
We got Briggsy tonight. We got Briggsy going. We got some more stuff. We're going to get them all in. We'll get it all in.
Kenny, are you doing the Brady?
Yeah, I'll do the Brady thing after Super Bowl and Briggsy. We'll get them all in.
Okay. All right. So, few questions. My segment.
Oh, Paul, by the way, that's a nice shirt you have on.
Not yet. You're so funny, man. So we talked about Brady being the greatest football player. Montana, LT, Jerry Rice, Jimmy Brown, Peyton Manning, just to name a few. I think Brady overall was the greatest. But I have my question to you guys is this. Is he the greatest GOAT in sports history? And let me just make some tell you some names. Baseball, Babe Ruth, Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, Barry Bonds. Basketball, Michael Jordan, Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem, Larry Bird, LeBron. Golf, Tiger Woods, Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer. Hockey, Gordie Howe, Barbie Orr, Wayne Gretzky. Boxing, Muhammad Ali. Swimming, Michael Phelps. Is he greater than any of these guys all time? Go with Kurt first.
So are you asking, is he the greatest?
Yeah.
No, Michael Jordan's the greatest.
Sis?
I agree 100% with Kurt. My top three are Ali, Taylor, and Michael Jordan.
Feeling?
I'm going to say no, but at the same time, it's very difficult to say what the greatest of all time is because of what you achieve. Because if you go by rings, then Robert Ory should be in top there because he has 8 rings. Right. You know what I mean? So it's tough to do that. But like you guys said, Jordan is the greatest of all time. In my opinion, I think Magic Johnson's the greatest NBA player of all time. But that's just me. You know what I mean? But Jordan has a lot more achievements and accolades to go.
Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson, bro. Don't underestimate Magic Johnson.
Over Jordan?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Verrilli's with on board. By the way, breaking news, the Vikings are finalizing a deal with Kevin O'Connell.
Really?
Good.
Wow.
Another no coach with head coaching experience. Amazing.
I think they're better with him than Harbaugh.
Kenny, what do you think?
No, I'm gonna go Jordan, Babe Ruth, and believe it or not, I'm going Michael Phelps as number 3.
Kenny, did you ever see Babe Ruth play?
No, but you saw this. I look at stats when you look at his stats to everybody else's stats at that time. That tells me enough. And you see all the stories and you read up on him.
And he was a joke. I love you, Kenny.
I'm sorry, sis. I didn't catch on to that one.
All right. Over the next 5 years, the Hall of Fame can have, and you can agree or disagree with me, starting in 2024, Eli, Phillip Rivers, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, and Big Ben. Is that the greatest collection of quarterbacks ever to go into the Hall of Fame in basically a 4 or 5 year period? Kurt?
If you're gonna put them together, I'm gonna go yeah.
Sis?
No, I would say Beelan and Kurt from Garfield High School. They were the best ever. They should both go in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. I'm sorry. Say the question. I'm in that kind of mood tonight. But go ahead.
I can see that.
Repeat the question.
Over the next 4 or 5 years, you have Eli Manning, Phillip Rivers, Drew Brees, Brady, and Big Ben.
Absolutely. Yeah.
The greatest collection of quarterbacks ever to go in.
Hands down. Look at that. Look at the one class. You had Rivers, Big Ben, and Eli all come out of the same class. So yeah. Great. That's a great question. I like that. Thank you.
Phelan?
Oh yeah, hands down.
Kenny?
I think so too, because you got Brady, obviously, but Breeze, Roethlisberger, Eli, Rivers, but the 4 of those 5, well deserving, into the Hall of Fame there. So yeah, I'm gonna say yes.
Paul, real quick before you continue, really saying yes. Eddie Murphy saying I watched Ruth's movies. He was good. And Kenny, our good friend David Slade, commented early, but I couldn't. For some reason I didn't get his comments. I don't know why they're going on to my Facebook page. So he was just mentioning early saying, no, where will they be next year? What about the rest of the roster that you're going to have to start dumping over the cap? And he said, love it, sis. But that was 50 minutes ago. I don't know why I'm not getting them. It was coming off of the Facebook page.
They're doing their 4th to 99 show. We'll message them later and tell them that I went to the Facebook page for some reason. That we weren't ignoring them.
Okay, sorry, Paul.
That's all right. So with Brady retiring, if I'm sitting in Green Bay's offices, I'm looking to move on from AR. I'm going to look at any team, every NFL team who may be interested. Obviously, Kurt, you're interested in AR at Denver. With Brady retiring, Tampa Bay may be interested. Let's play what will Kurt say or do if he wakes up a week before the draft and he puts on ESPN and he watches how Green Bay has traded AR to the Tampa Bay Bucks. Kurt, you're last.
Okay.
Sis, what will Kurt say or do?
There'll be a roadblock set up on the George Washington Bridge. Kurt's wife will call the Port Authority in New York to make sure that he cannot get on that bridge.
Kenny.
They'll be on the news. There'll be man barricades himself. holds man drives to Denver. Man drives to Tampa. Holds hostages.
Holds people in Tampa hostage.
The man's Rogers goes to Denver.
Real quick, for really saying Pittsburgh.
Negotiator.
Eddie's saying Pittsburgh, Tampa, or Denver gets A-Rod, whoever brings Adams with them. And then really saying lock himself in the car with Bella as a hostage.
Kurt's going to dress up as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers mascot, and he's going to walk into that front office and try to stop that.
Oh my God.
Kurt, so what would you say and do?
Mine would be very simple. And this is all I would say. I want George Payton, the GM, gone. That's it. Gone. Instantly gone. That's it.
Oh, man. God. Too funny.
All right.
But you have the negotiator calling. Kurt's going to be on the phone. That's with the negotiator. You want the hostages?
That's it.
Aaron Rodgers to Denver.
That's it.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's play another game.
I love it.
A game called Mad or Glad. Okay. I'm going to read something. A lot of these are Giant related. I'm sorry, guys, Phelan and Kurt. Some of them are Giant related. You either say you're mad or you're glad. And Dable is the head coach of the Giants. Are you mad or glad?
Me first, Paul?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm glad.
Sis?
I'm glad.
Kurt, Beelan, do you want to
I'm super glad.
super glad? Okay.
I would say glad. Virilli's giving a thumbs down.
There were 34 ex-Giants on playoff teams this year. Going to the Super Bowl that I know of. Eli Apple going to the Super Bowl. Mad or glad, sis?
Can I use another word or no?
It's a family show.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Terrible.
Kenny?
Yeah, I'm mad. I'm mad.
Yeah. Beelan?
I'm not mad at OBJ, but Eli Apple, he's a bum. He got burned the whole first half by Tyreek Hill. He should not talk or stop. He should. Come on.
Kurt?
Yeah, I'm with Beelan. I totally agree. He shouldn't be opening his mouth at all. Virilli's saying Giants will still be in the toilet bowl next year. Blah, 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 haters. So that's what Virilli's saying with the Giants.
Have fun with Justin Fields the next 10 years, Mr. Virilli.
Hold on. Hey,
What 10? He's going to have 3, Kenny. That's it. 3.
Those great Ohio State quarterbacks.
It's when he returns punts, like Kurt likes to say.
He will be.
Paul, real
Punt
quick.
returner.
Hold on,
Yeah.
real quick. Kurt, you want to talk about a terrible hire? How about Varelli's Bears with that guy who can read barely off a 12-year-old sheet off a piece of paper? That's their new GM.
Yeah.
Oh, the Colts coordinator?
No,
Eberflus?
the GM, the dude,
General manager.
Oh,
so-
the general manager.
He's reading a piece of paper like this. He's like,
I did see that.
hold on.
I did see
okay,
that.
we're gonna be great. We're gonna take over the North because Aaron Rodgers is not gonna be here next year.
Virilli's also saying that the Bears will win more games than the Giants. What was the Bears and Giants score this year? And then he's saying to Beelan it was the GM.
Yeah.
We'll talk, Mr. Virilli. We'll have a little fun little
I'll take
wager
that
with
bet.
you.
I'll take
We'll have
that
a little
bet.
fun little wager with you, my friend.
All right, OBJ going to the Super Bowl. Mad or glad?
Glad.
Glad. Sis?
Yeah, I'm happy for him. Absolutely. He grew up.
Yeah, I second Sis. Absolutely. He grew up.
I'm happy for him, but he should bring the net that he knocked over because I'm mad at the net.
All right, mad or glad that Brian Flores was not hired as the head coach of the Giants or the Broncos?
Oh, he was never in contention for Denver. I'm super glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad because Dable was my number one guy. So if it was somebody under, Dable was Flores was number 2. So I'm happy he's not there. So I'm glad because he was number 2 and Dable was number 1.
Sis?
The only thing I'll say about that, he had head coaching experience and he showed it in Miami. So that's all I'll say about
Sis
that.
is, you know what? Sis has always been high on Flores. I will say that.
Yeah. Beelan?
Yeah, I'll piggyback off of Sis, but I mean, I agree, but I think he effed himself because of what he did. I mean, if you didn't get one job, there's like 6 other teams that still need head
Exactly.
coach.
Great point, John.
Like, come on. Man.
What
Seriously.
happened in Miami? something went wrong in Miami.
No,
Seriously.
hold on. And to piggyback off what I just said, but did you just see the article about Hugh Jackson, who
Yes.
said that the Browns for 4 years? Now, all of a sudden, this is like what
Everything's
happens when
coming
people
out.
accuse people for something. Oh, Bill Cosby does this. Now there's like 17,000 people that come in. Oh,
Right.
there's a
You're
coach.
right.
Now
Beelan,
all the
you're
coaches
right.
are doing all this.
You're right.
Yeah.
Come
You know what
on,
I
man.
say, Beelan, to that? You know what I say? If it bothered them so much when he got offered the money, he should have said, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
I'm resigning. He didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't. What did
No.
Hugh Jackson do for 4 years? Why'd he stay there then? Why'd he stay?
Yeah.
Come on.
Paul,
I
you
don't believe either
got
one.
one more, Paul, because I want to definitely get into some more stuff here because we got
All
some
right,
more segments
so-
on it.
I saw something on Facebook that Sis said every Friday night he would go to a place, Lotus Gardens,
Take it easy.
on Route 22 in Springfield, New Jersey.
That's right.
Lotus Garden sounds like an Asian massage parlor or something like that.
It was a disco.
All right. So keep
Guys
that
used
in
to beat down the
mind.
door to get to me, but go ahead.
All right. So my So my question to you guys is this: is Sis better dancing the hustle or the icky shuffle?
I think we got to see Sis do both of them to get this, and then we can judge it.
Kurt.
I will answer that right now.
Thank you.
Listen, Sis is money on the dance floor. I
Thank
got
you.
videos to prove it.
Thank you.
And I'll just mention a couple of things. Rooftop bar at the Meadowlands. And the best one ever, Sis, is, oh my God, what? The Seashell
Shore.
Club in LBI.
Yep.
With his
Thank
yellow polo on. You
I
were
remember
there,
that.
Kenny. You were there. You
I
were there.
could cut up a rug, my friend.
Yes, sir.
The hustle. It's easy for me.
Paul, I gotta get video for next week. Okay, I will.
Definitely.
I got video. I have.
I said to him,
You'll have to get my release to show any video. So.
I replied to him and Tony Manero on Friday night and Saturday Night Fever.
Absolutely, Paul.
Imagine, but the icky shuffle with Sis. Imagine you like, you know, like I can see him doing that.
All right, that's it.
Kurt, let's skip Super Bowl preview like Sis suggested.
Yeah,
we'll have a nice review show next week.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do Brady's 12. I got the Brady segment and Bronco Mania. We'll get those two in tonight because my Brady segment's going to be fast. I'll make it fast, and Bronco Mania we'll do that tonight.
Okay.
But I know little added twist to Brady's 12. It's going to be Brady's. I got 12 of Brady's memorable moments listed here. Some of them I'll ask one of you guys for like a minute or less response or thoughts on it. I won't ask you thoughts on every single one. But before we do that, Paul said he had a little parody song for Mr. Brady that he was going to share with us in the Brady 12.
This morning I woke up after reading all this and I said, in 5 minutes, I banged out this song. And of course, it's to the tune of the Brady Bunch. Okay. So let me sing this little song for you. Okay. Here's the story of a man named Brady who played quarterback like no one ever had. He was drafted by the Pats, and when he started, everyone realized he was a man who was lion-hearted. He won with a man named Bill, the head coach of the Pats, but Brady thought he was the man because he wore many hats. Tom Brady's bunch, Tom Brady's bunch. They became Tom Brady's bunch. One day, Tom met this team named the Giants, and he could not do what he had done. The Giants hit Brady time and time again. By the end of the game, the Pats were 18-1. Tom Brady's bunch, Tom Brady's bunch. They became Tom Brady's bunch. He left the Pats for sunny Tampa to prove that he was the king. Then he won another Super Bowl to add to all his rings. Now we say goodbye to Tommy Brady, and it is a shame. We will see you in 5 years at Canton at the Football Hall of Fame. Tom Brady's bunch, Tom Brady's bunch. They became Tom Brady's bunch.
Very good.
There you go, Paul.
There you go.
I like the 18-1. That was the best part of it.
Eli threw a jab in there. I had to also.
All right, so being we're running out of time, I got Brady's 12 of Brady's most memorable moments. Some of these I will just read what I have and we'll go to the next one. And others I'll go to one of you guys to give me a minute or less thoughts on it. So I got them in a 12-1 ranking, 12, and number one will be his best moment. Number 12, drunk Brady on a boat. After Brady led the Bucs to its first Super Bowl title, the Buccaneers to its first Super Bowl title in many years, the quarterback had. Hold on, let me restart this here. Blah, blah. Drunk Brady on a boat. After Brady led the Bucs to a Super Bowl, its first Super Bowl title in many years, the quarterback of the Buccaneers, Tom Brady, was on a boat and had too many avocado tequilas. Yes, avocado tequilas. At the celebratory boat parade. Brady went on and went viral after cameras caught him throwing the Lombardi trophy across the water to another boat, where Gronk made the catch, and Gronkowski later said he blacked out on that same boat. Number 11. And after this, I'm going to get Kurt's thoughts on this. Drafted in the 6th round, despite showing he was a leader who knew how to win games at Michigan, Brady wasn't drafted until the 6th round of the 2000 draft.
By the way, Kenny, real quick, Virilli saying hooked on phonics didn't work for Kenny.
Touche.
That was bad.
Instead of feeling bad for himself, Brady showed the character that would make him an all-time great. He used negativity involved in this draft experience as motivation that fueled his Hall of Fame career. Kurt, thoughts on that draft? Number 12, drafted in the 6th round. Kurt, in a minute or less.
Listen, I give him credit for that. I mean, you know what? And he told Kraft, "This is the best thing that you've ever done." And, I'm going to, make all those other teams regret it. And you know what? I mean, everybody says that, but you know what? He backed it up. And you got to give him credit for that.
Awesome. Number 10, I'm going to get Paul's thoughts on this one. The tuck rule. It was a strange rule, a rarely invoked rule, a dumb rule. But the tuck rule, now departed, is a rule that saved the Patriots in Tom Brady's season in 2001. And saved Tom Brady the embarrassment of fumbling away a divisional round playoff game versus the Raiders. The play where everyone thought Brady fumbled was determined by referee Walt Coleman that Brady lost the ball as he was trying to tuck it back into his body. It was an incomplete pass, not a fumble, and the Pats ended up winning 13-10 in overtime. Thoughts on that, Paul, in a minute or less?
Yeah, I mean, it was a driving snowstorm. I don't think anybody ever heard that tuck rule before this game. Everybody thought it was a fumble. The Raiders recovered and probably could have won that game. But, the magic of Tom Brady probably started right there. And, they won the game. And here we are 22 years later. So what can you say?
Yep. I'm going to read the next couple, and then real quick, I'll read these next two. Number 9, Brady returns to New England after 20 seasons with the Pats. Brady returned as a visiting player on October 3rd, 2021. In typical Brady fashion, he led a game-winning drive in the 4th quarter to pick up yet another win, his first and only victory over his former franchise. Brady called the game his homecoming, and fans supported him until game time, where he actually heard some boos that game. Number 8, Brady gets ring number 7. And I'll get Thielen's thoughts on this one. Was it Brady or Belichick? That's the question that was asked after splitting up in 2020, but Brady scored brownie points immediately. The Bucs won Super Bowl 55, 31-9 over KC, behind Brady's MVP performance, going 21 for 29, 201 yards, 3 touchdowns. With 7 rings, Brady effectively put to bed his GOAT status, whether quarterback or even NFL player, which we touched earlier.
Before Beelan answers it, Kenny, really wants to know did you bang your head while making up this segment?
Love, really.
And then he's throwing in and you finally going senile, Kenny. Yeah. Really's all over you tonight, Kenny. That's your buddy.
That's my buddy. I know.
All right, sorry, Beelan.
I mean, I don't know what the question was, but I think it was, did Brady make Bill?
Did Brady, yeah. Brady, who was, the question is, who made, was it Belichick or Brady?
No, Brady made Bill, and you didn't get Brady if it wasn't for Mo Lewis. So everyone should thank Jeff.
You're right, Beelan. You're right.
Let's be real. I was young. I was watching that game when Mo Lewis knocked out Drew Bledsoe. I had Drew Bledsoe.
It was the worst thing that ever happened to you.
Yeah.
Worst thing ever. 18 years of misery. Okay. Yeah. But Bill made everybody he's ever dealt with.
I'm going to give Sis this next one, and then I'm going to go quick through the next few. Number 7, Sis. Pat's historic 2007 season falls just short. The day the Giants arrived in Phoenix for Super Bowl 42, they did so wearing black. They said they were in town for a funeral. The death of Patriots' 19-0 season. It seemed a fairly absurd stunt by a true underdog. The Giants defense tattooed Brady, sacking him 5 times. Despite it all, Brady handed New England's defense a 14-10 lead with 2:42 to play. But thanks to one of the greatest catches ever seen, Sis, the Giants scored the go-ahead touchdown, and Brady called this his toughest loss ever. Quick thoughts on that, Sis?
Yeah, I mean, that defense that year was outstanding, and obviously the catch by Ty. I mean, again, he's done all these things. We're the only team that we could say he never beaten the Super Bowl. So
absolutely. These next couple, Kurt, I'm going to read real quick.
Kenny, let me just quickly say, tomorrow is 14 years to the day, February 3rd.
Is it? Oh, well, that's right.
That's right.
It's a long time.
Nice. Kurt, I'll do these real quick, these next couple. Number 6, Brady wins number 4 against Legion of Boom. Super Bowl 49, Pats versus Seahawks. The Pats and Seahawks were tied at half 14-14, but Seattle put 10 points on the board in the third quarter. Despite Seattle not giving up more than 7 points in the fourth quarter game all year, Brady led his team to 14. Then late in the fourth quarter, big moment as Butler's big moment came as he intercepted Wilson in the end zone. Controversial call by the offensive coordinator by Seattle. Brady, screaming like a child, got to raise Lombardi Trophy for the 4th time. Number 5, Super Bowl and broadcaster. With larger-than-life personality, in the warning minutes of Super Bowl 36, didn't believe in Brady. The Pats defense held the greatest show on turf to just 17 points, and were not at 17-17 when Brady and the offense battled on field for last time, with 1:21 on the clock at their own 17, 0 timeouts. Brady drove them to the 30-yard line where Vinatieri nailed the kick. In 19 weeks, Brady went from unknown to Super Bowl MVP, like Thielen said about Bledsoe, and as it turned out, he was just getting started. Kurt, your thoughts on this one? Number 4, Super Bowl 51, down 28-3 at half. Midway through the third quarter, we all know what happened next. Brady put the team on his back and carried it up a mountain. No other team has come close to scaling in a Super Bowl, all the way to the top. And then he took in the view, winning 34-28 against the Atlanta Falcons. Kurt, thoughts on that one?
Listen, I give him all the credit in the world to come back from that, but that should have never happened. You got to blame my boy Kyle Shanahan. Even more, you got to blame the head coach Dan Quinn. That's
why he'll never get another head coaching job.
28-3, 28-3, just should never happen.
Yeah.
By the way, Verrilli, I got to read this because it's funny. Verrilli's not a fan of this segment and of Tom Brady. He wrote 2 things. Holy moly, this is like cruel and unusual punishment. Then he wrote, this can be used in
No, you know what's cool punishment? Kenny, switch it up. Do the Aaron Rodgers thing for the Chicago Bears.
Oh,
I was going to say cruel is I would have some Bears stuff here, but I don't have them. All I can think of is 1985. That's the only thing I can
Wait a minute. You know what? Wait a minute. I feel something coming on, Sis. Just so you guys know, I know Briggsy's coming up.
Look, Sis even had enough for you.
No, but wait a minute. This is WrestleMania season, Paul. It's coming up next. I could see a WrestleMania wrestling match. Kevin Verrilli versus John Beelan. I think that could be a main event, Kenny.
Tables involved.
If anybody
Verrilli's got his scooter going all over the place. You can't hit me with that thing.
My friend over there in New Jersey, who's a Bears fan, has no rights to complain about this segment. Mr. Beelan has all the rights to complain about it, and he has
years.
And he hasn't. So you know what? For Beelan, and now Mr. Burley opened up a can of worms. I am going to do an Aaron Rodgers Bears.
By the way, guys, not for nothing. This is the greatest thing. You guys should come. March. What the hell date was it? March 6th. Okay. Jets are having a tailgate party at the stadium because of Brady's retirement.
Only the Jets would do
The
that.
fans.
Kurt, I'll read 3 and 2 real quick, and then I'll get your thoughts on the last one.
Sounds
number
good.
1. 3, Brady versus Manning. Brady dominated this rivalry with 5-time MVP Peyton Manning winning 11 out of 17 matchups and their playoff showdown. With the Pats and Colts facing off in AFC Championship in 2004, Brady set the tone from the start. He capped an opening drive with a touchdown pass to David Givens and had the Pats up 15-0 at half on way to a 24-14 victory and another Super Bowl berth.
You know
Number
what?
2,
I'm sorry.
Brady
You know what?
retired.
I'm sorry. You have what I call fake news. You know why? What is important? Because all I heard from you guys and the Colorado guys were NFC Championship games, AFC Championship games. Peyton Manning. This is 100% true. Peyton Manning and Tom Brady faced off 4 times in an AFC Championship games. Paul, do you know what Tom Brady's record was in those 4 AFC Championship games against Peyton Manning?
What was it? 2 and 2?
1 and 3.
1 and 3. Yeah.
So how he dominated that matchup? Not when it mattered. 1 and 3, Mr. Kirkpatrick. What's your answer for that?
How many rings does Manning have?
Oh, what I'm saying is,
My answer to this is I will write to the person who I got my source from and tell him he was wrong.
okay, because 3 and 1 in
That-
an AFC
that you got
Championship
the
when
right
it
back.
mattered.
Pretty good.
Just giving you a heads up. Sorry
Okay.
about that.
Number 2, Brady retires. Brady officially retires after 22 legendary seasons with the Patriots and Buccaneers. Brady stated, "This is difficult for me to write, but here it goes. I'm not going to make that. I'm not going to make that competitive commitment anymore. I have loved my NFL career. Now it's time to focus my time and energy on other things that require my attention." Number 1, and I'll get you guys in 30 seconds or less each if you want to say something about it. Deflategate. Arguably the most controversial moment of his career, Deflategate was born after Brady and Patriots were accused of deflating balls for AFC Championship against the Colts in January 2015. Results were a years-long investigation where Patriots and Brady maintained his innocence. Brady served a 4-game suspension because the NFL believed he was generally aware of the situation. Paul, you could start if you want 30 seconds or less.
Yeah, I mean, the Patriots always try to find some type of edge. Belichick was doing that. Obviously, it transcended down into Brady and probably other parts of the whole organization. He got caught. They got caught. He served the suspension. Move on. What else is there to say?
Kenny,
Kenny,
Verrilli is all over you today.
I don't want to hear any more with Mr.
Wait,
Verrilli tonight. Because next week, okay, he can have his fun now because he's going to have a nice. He needs to
this
come
one's
on the
good
show
though.
next week.
This one's good, Kenny. You just talked about Deflategate. He said Kenny just deflated the whole show.
Oh, wow.
That's Mr.
Good thing
Verrilli.
this is your friend.
This is your friend. This is
Well,
Verrilli.
you know what? He's going to come on next week when I do the same segment, and he gets to sit there through the Bears' most memorable,
God.
least memorable moments.
Why would any Bear fan have anything to say? When's the last time the Bears were good?
He says my brother, so he's saying it as a joke.
I know.
He's saying
I
By the
know.
way, Brady's 5-1 against the Bears.
Billy, you're going to go last because you had to deal with him for 18 years. Sis, 30 seconds or less, Deflategate thoughts.
That's again, that's going to go along with him for Hall of Fame or wherever. He cheated. Belichick cheated with the Spygate. So when you do stuff like that, it follows you the rest of your life. I tell you, as good as he was, and I said this before, I just never liked him. Never liked him.
Kurt.
Listen, Sis nailed it. Deflategate, greatest show on turf. You held them to 3 points in the first half. All of a sudden, in the second half, here come the Rams. Boom, 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 boom. Why'd they shut them down in the first half? They filmed their walkthrough. I could tell Beelan on the third play, this guy's going to run a post corner. Stay back there for a post corner.
I was starting to think the game was going to be fixed just so he didn't get
Listen, they cheated. Deflategate. I don't care what. Listen, Robert Kraft Robert Kraft doesn't give up remember, they not only did he get suspended, they gave up first round draft picks and then they got fined millions of dollars. So basically they said we are guilty. He's a cheater,
Right.
and he cheated at Deflategate. The Patriots, every team fumbles in the rain, but the Patriots.
Right.
Why? Because their balls are soft. Be realistic. They're cheaters. That's why, and he is nowhere near the best quarterback in football of all time.
No.
And Beelan, your thoughts on this as the AFC East guy?
And real quick, Beelan, really nailed this one on the head. We talked about it last week. If steroids keeps Bonds out of the Hall of Fame, Deflategate should keep Brady out. I'm with him.
Yep.
He cheated.
Here's one thing. How did Brady know that the balls were deflated? Barry Bonds is the one who put the crap in them. So
you just think the ball boy did this without telling the quarterback?
Yeah.
No way. No way.
Kurt, write that down, Kurt. Write that down.
There it is. The ball boy.
It took
Live
all
on the show.
It
That's
took
my
all
number
show.
That's my number one. That's
Did OJ kill Nicole?
No.
I mean,
Kurt Beelan, write that down, Kurt.
Not by himself.
Kurt,
I'm
get
just
the piece
saying.
of pen. There might be
I'm
a
just
few
saying.
more.
If OJ didn't kill Nicole, Brady didn't know about the balls.
There might be a few more, Kurt. There might be a few more.
We got to review the show. Oh, wait. Verrilli says that comment takes the top spot.
Listen, if he didn't kill Nicole, Brady didn't know about the balls.
We got to
Oh,
tell
that-
Sis
nah,
that
listen.
one.
He's still looking for the killer.
Listen, at the end of the day, if it took somebody that long to figure out a tweak in the game where you can just deflate the ball just a little bit and get a better grip on them, kudos to you. No joke. Kudos to you, because a kicker could do the same exact thing by pumping the ball a little bit more and putting more air into it while he's kicking it.
Verrilli saying we have a new winner. That's the top one. We'll vote on that next week.
Listen, I mean, it's no disrespect. It's no disrespect to the kickers, right? Like in Denver or whoever. Like, who says the balls weren't pumped up more? So when he kicked it, the ball fucking flew more. Sorry,
But Beelan, this is different. This is a quarterback fumble.
whatever it is. Listen, great career.
Hold on. I got one thing to say.
Listen, great career.
Verrilli saying
Kudos to
glove
him.
don't fit. You must have quit.
I got
Verrilli's
one
on
thing to
fire
say.
tonight.
Kurt, you're a quarterback. Don't you know the ball's to something wrong with this ball?
Right. Why does this ball feel lighter? Why does this ball feel lighter?
Not necessarily. Yeah, but see, that's where you get a little confused about all this stuff, right?
He's
You guys
saying
played
winner.
sports.
Winner.
Hold on.
Listen,
You guys
a
played
pitcher
sports,
gets a
bro?
baseball and tosses it right back to the umpire because he can't get a feel for the ball. Brady knew.
Come on.
Hold on.
Eddie,
I'm just
come
saying
on.
this.
Kurt, write
I'm
down.
just-
It's coming.
I got it.
Listen, just think about this, okay? It's air, right? What happens when you take a balloon outside in cold air? What does it do?
I don't know. I've never
It
done it.
deflates.
Kurt, before we get into
Right?
But wait, my
Broncomania-
question though is
No, I'm
you're
saying before I
telling
get
me
in-
the ball boy's just gonna do it by himself and say, "What are you doing today, John? What are you doing today, Mike?"
He's a
John,
Brady
come on, we're
fan.
gonna deflate the footballs. Come on, let's go.
Kurt,
He's a
Kurt, I got
Brady
one
fan.
thing for Mr. Verrilli, okay? It's coming.
Yeah.
If I can get it.
Did we tell Sis or did Sis step away? Does Sis know about this?
Yeah. Oh, no. Well,
There it is.
tell him now. Tell him now while I got this on.
Sis, you ready for this?
Says,
I don't know
this
if
is-
you were-
This
I don't
is
know
number
if-
one.
This is number one. We're really saying this is the new asinine.
This is
Beelan
the new number
statement.
one over Aikman, sis.
He said the ball boy deflated the balls without letting Brady know. He did it on himself.
Who said that?
Beelan.
No, he
Look
did.
at
Yes,
the
he did.
picture, sis.
Yes, he did.
No, he did.
And sis, I said if OJ didn't know he killed Nicole, then Tom Brady didn't know about the balls being deflated.
All right. Well, that's the Brady 12, Kurt. Let's finish the show with Bronco Mania tonight. Open agenda real quick for Bronco Mania and the ownership situation over there.
Yeah, I'll be really quick with this. And again, this is for Brady. And the great thing about what you're talking about, Briggsy would have loved the show today because Brady, he always broke my ball saying Brady's number one, yada, 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 the best quarterback. Number two, he hated Marvin Lewis. So when you guys were talking Marvin Lewis, I was laughing about that. He hated him. I don't think he was a Tomlin fan either, but it was really Marvin Lewis and there was another one.
I know it was Marvin Lewis.
Andy
I know that.
Dalton.
Yeah.
Really saying this is 30 minutes I'll never get back in my life. But you know what we need? I'm going to be honest with you. And, we talked this with the Colorado guys. When Bolin was around, Bolin didn't play any garbage. Hey, he had more Super Bowl when he was there. He had more Super Bowl appearances than he did losing seasons. And listen, unfortunately, he got sick, passed away. I believe it was 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, but he was sick before that. And when he was there, though, it didn't care. Like, he wanted to win. And he wasn't. Listen, Mike Shanahan had 1 or 2 losing seasons, no postseason. Mike Shanahan's gone, and that's the kind of owner we need. We talk about, well, for the next 3 years, if we lose, we win 4 games. He's not going to lose 4 games. He would not lose 4 games. We need an owner that's not doing that. That's what I want this owner. From now on, we're competing for Super Bowl, AFC Championship, Super Bowls now. And you know what? We're not going to sign Tyrod Taylor. We're not going to play with these garbage quarterbacks. We're going to go, Aaron Rodgers available? What do you need? What do you need for us to go get Aaron Rodgers? Here's whatever you need. Here's the checkbook. What do you need? That's the kind of owner we need. That's what Pat Bowlen was. That's why Denver was so successful with him. And that's the kind of owner we need.
When do you think that ownership will happen?
Well, they're saying, somebody said May. Definitely, they want to have it official by the football season, but I guess by September. But they're saying by May we should hear, like, quote unquote, who it's going to be. That's what they want to do. But it's going to an auction. I want to say in the next couple weeks. So, what's your thoughts?
Anybody else
on that,
have any ownership questions?
Yeah.
If not, I got another topic I wanted to bring up.
Kurt, we had this
wait.
a couple of months ago, I think, that there was an Elway group and a Peyton Manning group.
Yeah, what I heard too is they were saying is that there was one Manning group and one Elway group. But then what I've been hearing too is that they're not gonna, like, hitch themselves onto a group now and lose and not be the winning thing, that they're gonna kind of stay behind the scenes and basically just say, like, Beelan, if you're the winning bidder, I want to be part of the team. So can I be part of the team when you win? So that's what they're saying those two guys want to do. So.
Okay, I got one more question unless Sister Beelan want to jump in.
Oh, I just have one thing to say, and actually this is kind of a little interesting, Kurt. No disrespect to the Broncos, but you know the name Brittany Bolin?
Yes.
Okay. Super pro-vaccinated person. And you know who's not vaccinated? The Denver Broncos.
Those initials begin with AR.
Kurt's not vaccinated either. What's the difference? I'm not.
But AR, hold on. AR, let me get back to this. AR, but Brittany Bolin's she's not gonna get it. I don't think she's gonna get it because honestly, and this is where it's actually kind of crazy. And again, I don't know how true it is, but they were saying that the father wanted it to go to the kids, right? That's what he wanted. Yep. But but they all had to agree and say Brittany is. Like they all had to back one of them and say, you're the primary or majority owner. And the son wants no part of this. The son wants no part of it. So with the son wanting no part of it, they can't do that because they wouldn't even go for bid. They would just transfer it to the daughter, Brittany. But since the son wants no part of it, and now what they're saying is they're gonna sell for like $4.3 billion. They're all gonna split that. I think it's 4 or 6 ways for that money, and the son wants the money and he doesn't want the sister to have the gig. So that's what the father wanted, and it's sad because they're saying it's sad because they're not going to see his plan go through, but unless it's all of them, they can't do it. And she's not, she don't have money. I just
thought it was very interesting that popped up when I heard that. I was like, oh, okay.
I don't think that's going to matter.
My next question to you, Kurt, and this is hypothetically speaking, this is an if the Broncos, if Aaron Rodgers stays in Green Bay.
Yes.
At number 9, who would you want the Broncos, 1, 2, and 3? Give me 3 draft picks you'd want the Broncos to take at number 9.
linebacker from Utah. You were saying today, Lloyd, Dean, one of those middle linebackers.
Do you go secondary again? Or you got too
Yeah,
much
you know what?
there?
Yeah, maybe if what's the LSU kid? Singletary. They're saying
Stingley.
yeah,
Gardner,
Stingley. They're saying the
kid from
Jets are going to
Cincinnati's
pass
good.
him for somebody else. I don't know why, but I read in a mock draft it said the Jets are going to take a different corner than Stingley. But if he ever fell, but one of the linebackers, the Utah or the Georgia kid.
Trey
Yeah.
McBride.
Who is it, Beelan?
Trey McBride out of Washington State.
Yeah.
Kid's unreal.
Yeah.
Or Amari Gardner from Cincinnati.
I like Gardner. Okay, well, anything else, Kurt, you want to do with Bronco Mania? Or you want to do some closing thoughts?
That's it. The other thing, just on a serious side is, it's almost going to be a year now that, we lost Mr. Briggs. So
Yeah.
I want to say it was early February last year, right before Valentine's Day. I don't remember the date, but I want to say it's almost a year. So I know Sis always says like, oh my God, it goes so quickly, and it does, and
Yeah.
just so you know, I mean, listen, he would be all in on Rodgers. He was like me. He didn't like the Daltons of the world, the Garoppolos, and Bridgewaters. He just hated those quarterbacks. So hopefully,
I wish he was he's up above, but I wish he was around for these Denver, Colorado guys, our friends. At the
Oh
Rocky
my
Mountain.
God, he would go nuts with those
We
guys.
would have fun with them.
He would
for
go
sure.
nuts with those guys. But hopefully, you know what? Listen, Plan A and Plan A is Aaron Rodgers, and not just my Plan A. That's their Plan A. Is they're going in, like I said, they're we talk about it all the time, but they got $50 million of cap space. They traded Von Miller. They got 2 2s, 2 3s. They got young talent. They're not saving that for Kirk Cousins and Jimmy Garoppolo. They're going for Aaron Rodgers. Listen, if Aaron Rodgers, though, turns around and says, hey, I want to stay in Green Bay, there's nothing we can do. You can't force him out of Green Bay. If he stays in Green Bay, he stays in Green Bay. All power to him. But if he becomes available and he says, I want to go to Denver, honestly, it doesn't matter what it costs. They got to get him. They got to get him.
Make it happen.
They
Yep.
got to get him.
All right, let's go. I want to go watch some hoops. It's
All right,
20
so
after-
final thoughts, real quick. Sis, give me your final thought.
You were the best secondary coach ever at Ramapo.
Thank
And
you.
the best offensive coordinator at St. Mary's.
Wow,
That's
thank-
my closing thoughts.
I like that, Beelan. So Beelan's quiet. Beelan, how do you answer that, Mr. Beelan? Your final thoughts.
He can't.
Yeah, I
Beelan's
can.
never even been a
Yeah, I
little league.
can. He was a cheater in Little League.
Wow.
Nah, Kurt was a great coach, man. I loved Kurt when I was younger.
He made you what you are, Beelan.
Yeah, I think I made him a good coach. I'm like the Tom Brady effect.
There you go.
Here we go.
There we go. Final thoughts. Anything, Beelan?
Nah, I'm good. Keeping this one PG.
All right, I'll go next. You know what? This is a low weekend. Guys. It's a little depressing. There's one more football game in a football season. We all love football. But what's so exciting is football just makes it great because they'll have free agency in March. Then they're gonna have the draft. Then they're gonna come out with a schedule show and all that stuff like that. But hey. One more game to go, and but I'm just excited because we're finally we got our new coach, we're gonna get a new owner, and thankfully we're gonna get a new quarterback. Mr. Rosen, final thoughts.
Fun show tonight. Thanks everybody. It was great. We got a new GM, new coach. I think we just hired a new offensive coordinator, if I read that correctly right before we came on. So things are looking up, and hopefully it'll continue.
And Mr. Kenny K, you finish us off.
Yeah, great show, guys. Had fun. Remember, the ball boy deflated the balls.
Yeah,
Remember that.
Kenny, that's next week.
Without Brady knowing.
That's next
Without-
week. We vote on that. We vote.
Listen, it's Kenny. It's the same thing as the assistant physician putting cream on Barry Bonds for 5 years. Had no clue.
Kurt,
No clue.
Well, you know what we got to do, Kurt? This is my final thought on this. After the Super Bowl, what's the next big event?
March Madness.
We do a bracket with Beelan's asinine
Yeah,
statement.
yeah. Let's keep posting.
So I need to say a lot more then.
Yeah, Beelan,
Yeah.
we need listen. Text me and Sis over the weekend so we could get some
Yeah.
more for the week.
I got it.
And
All right,
that's what
boys.
we'll do.
All right,
Good
boys.
night.